9% unemployment, $14 trillion deficit, the highest tax burden in the nation. Obama's recession has hit New Jersey hard on Tuesday. You can let him know how you feel about it. Get out and vote Republican. There you go. Steve Oro, Allison McCose, and Gary somebody or other. Independent-minded Republicans. It's all your fault, buddy. It's all your fault. Yeah. We're going to examine this very carefully. So as we drive in from western New Jersey, we contemplate a piece of mail that I got this morning in which it said that Obama, that rascal, that Democrat, that liberal, is responsible for the $13 trillion debt. He's responsible for 9% unemployment. He's responsible for the highest taxes for New Jersey. New Jerseyans paying the highest tax rate of any state in the country. Well, listen, that $13 trillion debt, I mean, boy, I mean, he's look at all the money he's spent. I can think of $1 trillion he spent just throwing it back into the United States economy. He just took money and threw it back at American citizens. And did it change anything? No. Unemployment is 9%. Now, whose fault is that? Things were fine until Obama got into office. And suddenly, nobody's got any money, nobody's got any jobs, and we're $13 trillion in debt. And it's all Obama's fault. There's no question about that. There's absolutely no question about that one. It's all Obama's fault. The 9% unemployment rate. I mean, there were plenty of jobs, and suddenly there's no jobs. Why is that? Because nobody likes Obama, and nobody thinks that anything is going to sell because Obama is president, and because he's really not an American. He's probably an Iraqi or from Senegal or someplace like that, and he's here to really undermine the American economy, government, and spend the $13 trillion, put the 9% people unemployed, and give New Jerseyans the highest tax rate in the country, which certainly has nothing to do. He must have a special federal tax rate for people from New Jersey, because that's why they're paying so much tax. It couldn't have anything to do with their state taxes and their real estate taxes, because that's been fine for a long time. So it must be Obama again. So he's really creating a lot of trouble. He's not an American. He's an Iraqi or a Iranian or something. He's from someplace strange. I think he's Ahmad Ahmadinejad's bastard son, is what I think he is. So they implore me not to vote for him for all those reasons. And you know, it makes sense to me. $13 trillion deficit. Where did he spend $13 trillion? But he should be held accountable. $13 trillion. I mean, you know, he makes you miss dear old George Bush. He was so friendly and nice and liked to joke. And he was a decider. He could really decide things. Just give him something to decide and he could decide it. I mean, that's the kind of president I want, is a guy who can decide things. And he was fun, never took things too seriously, and Obama's too serious. And and George Bush didn't want us to. Excuse me. So where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? George Bush, the decider, he could decide stuff. Oh, I know. And Obama wants to have medicine for everybody, and free medicine for everybody, and free education for everybody. And that's not a good idea. I mean, that's just not a good idea. I'm not sure why, but I will be sure soon. And it's not a good idea to just be giving medical care to people and educating them. I mean, who will be around to work.